leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
Hello, friends.
What up?
Cody's gonna be in the background working. I might pop him in every few minutes to throw his own 2 cents in, but he's working, so I'm not gonna disrupt his groove. Also, peep the shirt. I made it with my Cricut. The design I did not make. I am not that creative. One of our friends, Kat, has a t-shirt shop, and her t-shirt designer designed this for us. His name's Aaron, and I love it. So yeah, and then I used my Cricut and put it on a shirt. I love it. So much progress has been made this past week, 2 weeks. How many weeks has it been since they've been out? 2 weeks? A
What?
week. The Sanitarian. And
No, it was last week.
we went into this week basically just asking them to come out and give us advice on what we needed to do to get this thing inspected and get in here in the next couple weeks. And they ended up approving us to backfill and approving us for drywall. So that basically just means we passed our first inspections, which I'm super excited about. Let me cover our address, but we are approved. So very exciting, very exciting. Once the lagoon is done and all of the drywall is up, they will have to come back out for their second inspection, and once we clear that, then we are good to move in. This week's video is going to be very different, just because everything happened so quickly and I didn't really focus on filming. I was more or less just here trying to help Cody bust butt inside so that way we can, you know, get in this house in the next couple weeks. Even if we don't have all of our finishes and we don't have a kitchen and all of that, that's not a big deal to me. We just want to get in. So as soon as the county says that we can get in, we're getting in. But I did get clips of everything that I did to prepare us for inspections. But yeah, that's basically what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about our pre-inspection checklist, everything that went into our inspections. Some of it is just your run-of-the-mill stuff for your basic everyday home, and then some of it is more container specific. But I'm hoping that this video will answer a lot of the questions that we get in the comments regarding our build. And if for some reason I don't answer your question, please feel free to comment it below and I will try to get to it. But before we get into all of that, we have a sponsor. Both very excited about today's sponsor. It is Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service, and not really my forte, but definitely Cody's forte, and he was super excited about this partnership, so I'm gonna let him tell you all about it.
So, Surfshark is a VPN service that keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all information that is sent between your device and the internet. It does this by masking your IP address, which essentially means you become private online. This has been great for us because we don't have Wi-Fi at the property yet. Hopefully soon, but until then, Summer's constantly going into town to connect to public Wi-Fi, and now we have Surfshark to keep her protected when she's working on YouTube or real estate. And if you don't already know, public Wi-Fi can be a goldmine for hackers. Also, by using Surfshark, you can virtually change your location by changing your IP address. This allows you to binge watch movies and TV from other countries. What does this mean for us? Well, now we can stream and download shows that we have been missing out on, which aren't available in the US before we go out to the property. This has been a game changer because now we don't have to watch any more crappy antenna channels. Surfshark's always running in the background of your phone or computer, keeping you protected. It also has a clean web feature that blocks ads, trackers, or any malware and allows you to surf the web safely. And don't worry, Surfshark doesn't monitor or track anything that you would do online, which means no connection or activity logs. By using our code CCU, Surfshark is offering you 83% off plus an extra 3 months for free. Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out. But yeah, if you're using public Wi-Fi like us all the time or just care about your internet security and your private data, I would definitely look into using Surfshark to keep you protected online.
We just wanted to say a huge thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Our security is really important to us, as a lot of y'all know with what's happened in the past, so we're really excited that we have Surfshark on our virtual side to make sure that we are completely secure and taken care of in that department. We started this week kind of in limbo. We had a ton of rain, the creeks were flooded, the pond was flooded, and so we really couldn't do a whole lot of stuff outside, but we started on the inside. Like I said, we do have a pre-inspection checklist, so a lot of this has been mostly just crossing things off of our checklist. This included a lot of nail plates and fire blocking, and I do have to fix the nail plates in a couple areas, so I will be doing that in the next couple days. But I'm gonna let Cody tell y'all a little bit more about nail plates because we did have a couple questions on them, so here's a clip of that.
I know a couple people on YouTube specifically mentioned nail plates and that we need to be using nail plates, so I wanted to address that really quick. We actually are using them. We're installing them over all the wiring that goes through the 2x4s and then all the plumbing lines that go through the 2x4s. Obviously later in life, we don't want anyone to go try and hang something on the wall or anything like that and then end up putting a nail into a pipe or wire or anything like that and then end up, you know, shocking themselves or creating a leak or something like that. So that's what these nail plates are for. They're to protect all that. So I'm getting those installed right now.
Cody did a majority of the kitchen and living room nail plates, and then I finished up our bedroom, and we haven't done our well, we've done a little bit of our bathroom, but once we get the shower and everything installed, then we'll finish up the bathroom. Once the ground dried out, we spent a couple days out here just camping. Cody worked on the lagoon and the tank, and then like I said, I mostly just was working on pre-inspection things inside. He did have to do a little rescue mission for a little lizard that got trapped in the bottom of where the tank's gonna go, so I have a clip of that.
It's a water salamander.
A water salamander.
Or a skink.
A skink. This sounds weird.
So I was digging out the hole for the septic tank this morning. It's pretty cold out, but I found this little black salamander in there. He's got little yellow spots all over his body. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, he's alive, but he's moving real slow because it's cold, but I'm about to go put him over by the pond.
Prior to the fire marshal coming out, I did have a little bit of the fire blocking done. Well, I'd say a good majority of it, but there were a few things that I had questions on, so I held off for his advice. Because we have a container home, we don't really have a traditional vented attic, so we weren't sure on a couple things and just wanted to clarify before, number one, we wasted a whole bunch of spray foam, fire blocking, and number two, did a whole bunch of unnecessary work that we didn't need to do. The first county official that came out was the Sanitarian, and Cody is fire blocking right now, but I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about what the Sanitarian had to say regarding our lagoon.
So the Sanitarian said that the tank looked good. He gave us the approval to backfill the tank. He said that the lines going from the house to the tank looked good, and then he said that the lagoon looked good, but it was a little bit bigger than I probably need.
He overbuilt it. He overbuilt everything. He overbuilt our foundation.
But yeah, he said everything looked good. He said that we overbuilt the lagoon a little bit, but it was looking good, and gave us some tips on how to get it finished out. And then, you know, we went over clearances for how high the water line had to be, or the discharge line had to be coming out of the ground, how deep it has to be, and all that good stuff. So gave us some good direction. We have probably 2 more days of work on it, I'm thinking, but really we just gotta wait for it to dry out a little bit more because it's been pouring. Found out it works because it rained so much that it filled up completely, and it held water for a couple days before I drained it out. So
yeah.
Guess we did a good job smashing all the dirt down and making sure it seals because it held water pretty well.
Then the fire marshal came out the next day, and Cody wasn't there for that, so I made sure to take a ton of notes and get all of my questions answered. We had enough done, and they do watch our videos, so they ended up both approving us to move forward and take the next steps in getting this home done. Now I'll get into a little bit more specifically on what, and if you're wondering why I'm looking over here, I've put notes because this video is very different, and this video is different, so I made notes. Now I'll get into a little bit more specifically what the fire marshal had to say, what we hadn't done, what we needed to do, and what I basically been doing the past couple days to bring this container up to code. The first big thing, like I had mentioned, is fire blocking. We had talked over the phone, but he wasn't sure if he wanted us to continue using the fire blocking that we had been using or switch over to rock wool, which, if you don't know, rock wool is a great alternative if you are building a shipping container home. Rock wool is a great alternative to fiber. Once he came out, he said the fire blocking that we were using is perfectly fine and that I could continue using it, so we just purchased more. We had previously sealed and fire blocked the bottom plate of the container when we insulated the home, and so I showed him that underneath the fiberglass insulation, and he said that looked great as well. He advised we also needed to do this for the top plate and do every 10 feet vertically of the container. Let me tell y'all, that has been an interesting task, but I feel like I finally mastered it. You'll see through the videos as time goes on, it's very messy and falls everywhere, and then slowly I kind of get the hang of it. Along with that, we also had to fire block anywhere that wire or PEX went through a 2x4. Any of the top or bottom penetrations had to be fire blocked, and then I still fire blocked a couple of the middle penetrations as well, just to be on the safe side. But other than that, he said everything looked good and he approved us for drywall. So of course that same day, Cody and I ran up to Lowe's and bought everything that we needed to do to finish up these walls so that way we could start installing our drywall. A big step to this is blocking, not just where cabinets are, but for instance like our closet, TV mounts, anywhere that something heavy is going to be mounted to a wall has to have a stud or a blocking. That was the next big step in getting these walls finished for drywall, is installing all of our blocking. I measured it all out and got it all cut, and then Cody installed it all to the 2x4s. The first area that we started drywall was our closet, and that's mostly because that was the first room in the house that was completely done and didn't need anything to it. So we did get our closet fully finished. You'll notice that our drywall is a little bit on the more loved side, but that is okay. Cody's Aunt Nancy previously refinished her entire basement and had a ton of drywall left over and so graciously offered it to us, and so it's been sitting in the container for a little bit. She's a little well loved in terms of it's a little dirty because there's a lot of stuff going on here, but that doesn't mean that she's bad. Her integrity still stands, she's still strong, and it's nothing a little paint can't fix. We got our closet done, and then a majority of the walls in our bedroom, and pretty much used up all the drywall that Nancy had given us, and so we had to make a trip up to Lowe's and get the rest of it, which included 4 different kinds of drywall. It was a lot. Next, we decided to install the drywall on the fireplace, and let me tell you, that was another very interesting task. We decided to use Type X drywall for our fireplace. We'll eventually have to put like brick or stone behind it, and we'll probably do this prior to next winter. But we do plan on taking our fireplace out and sealing up the wall each summer. That'll allow us a ton more room in our house, and we don't need the fireplace in the summer, so we'll just pull it out and put it in storage. Putting the fireplace back in was pretty tricky, but we did get it done, and yeah. That pretty much brings us to today, where he's working on our bathroom.
Yep. So as you can see behind us, we got a bathtub in and the and the tub surround in.
They can't see any of that. That's for next week's video.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. We really appreciate everybody's kind words and support online. We read every comment. Seriously, having a community online that understands what we're doing has been such a game changer and honestly a confidence booster. We were very discouraged in the beginning going through everything that we went through, so talking to y'all and seeing everybody's kind words really does boost our confidence and drive us to want to come out here and bust butt even more. So we appreciate everybody's support, and if you want to support this channel, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Just doing those little things help so much, like literally so freaking much. So yeah.
See you next week.
See you next week in my bathtub. Bye guys.
We can look back someday